So my Tesla app notified me this morning at 8 o'clock, and I went and looked, and there was a notification of a software update. So I went to this Tesla app, and I clicked where it says cancel update, install update, and then it said that the update was about to begin, but you could cancel, so there was a cancel option. So the cancel update option was probably there for 2 minutes or so, maybe a minute, like it is inside the car. And then after that, it just said software update in progress. And then I got another alert saying the software update is complete. Took about maybe a half hour at the most. And then I was able to see within the app the version upgrade, but you could not see the release notes. I had to go to the car.
So I got the notification that there was an update on my phone, and I was able to install it through the phone, which was great. And when I walked into the car, this was there, and it's Navigate on Autopilot. One thing that would be nice is if the mobile app would have this news update. It didn't have it, so you know there's an update. You can install the update, which is nice, and also you have the chance to cancel, probably the 2-minute cancel ability, and then you have to come to the car to actually see what you got. Looks like we have Navigate on Autopilot, which we're going to test out. Key support for the Model 3, which is interesting. My phone's been working really well recently, so I don't think I'm going to need to get a key. I'm tempted to see how the regenerative braking has changed, and the previous release notes, which we went over already. So we need to go to Controls and Autopilot to enable Navigate on Autopilot. You have to do that while you're in park, and you get this warning message. I'll show it there. To accept. And then you can customize the Navigate on Autopilot, and it starts out, I believe, in average. You can have it disabled, mild, average, or Mad Max. Let's do Mad Max. Let's see what this little... So the difference is that the mild setting suggests a lane change when you're traveling sufficiently slower than your set speed, whereas the Mad Max setting will suggest lane changes even when traveling only slightly slower than your set speed. So it's all based around your set speed. There is no difference in the safety of it. It's just how quickly it will suggest a lane change. Okay, so let's see if we can tell the regenerative braking. Tough to say. Now, there's supposedly some kind of calibration that needs to take place, and I think we're going to navigate to a location that will Sesame Place. Let's go to Sesame Place. Drive to Sesame Place. I believe this will take us on a few... Ah, there we go. It knows that I'm going to go onto a highway. And I just clicked Navigate on Autopilot. Curious if it will take the ramp by itself. This will be interesting. So that got highlighted, I guess, as soon as it rerouted to use the highway. I should try that again to see exactly when that occurred. So here is the ramp, and I'm dying to know if it actually is going to take this turn. I don't think so, so I'm going to take it myself. And once we get on the ramp here, hopefully it will allow me to engage it. There we go.
So this is the new look of Navigate on Autopilot. The lane line, blue lane lines disappear, and you get a solid blue line on your drive path. It's a little odd because we're so used to the blue lane lines to know that we're in autopilot, but I guess we'll get used to it.
So there it is. There's the navigate, and it's seeing the car there, so it's slowed down a little bit. Crank up my speed. It did emerge, jumped over to 5 over, and let's actually accelerate to see if it knows to pass these cars. Or if it wants to pass. There it goes. It makes a decision.
So this is the message you receive when the Tesla determines it wants to do a lane change. And you see the gray line showing the path that it wants to turn, here in the case left. And you must press your blinker to acknowledge it. You can either do a soft press or a hard press of the blinker.
It asked me to confirm. I don't know if you saw that little message there, but it asked me to confirm the lane change.
As soon as you press the blinker, you get a solid blue line.
In this situation, will it go back to the right here by itself, or will it stay in this lane? I'm going to slow down and see if it knows to get over as a car from behind approaches. Upcoming lane change. That's very interesting. It's probably because of the exit. Just highlighted the lane that I have to get into. And nice. Now this is probably because of the exit, not because there was a car coming up from behind. It's got an exit in 0.4 miles. Apply light force. Will it take this exit? Oh, took it all by itself. Very cool, very cool.
So if you're in the right exit lane, when the Tesla takes an exit, you see this sharp right turn, and then it takes it all by itself. You don't have to turn the blinker on or anything. You then receive the message navigation on autopilot ending, and it counts down from 500 feet all the way to like 25 feet.
And it's telling me AP is going to stop. It's slowing down. I'm watching to see if there's any car. Got a tone.
So when Navigate on Autopilot wants to pass back control, it counts down to 25 feet, and then you get a tone, and you'll go to the autopilot. So it's not really passing back total control to you, it's passing it back to normal autopilot.
And I think it's just slowing down. And it doesn't know what to do here, so I gotta take over. I think it just puts it into autopilot mode. Normal autopilot mode, which means you really need, on a local road, you need to basically take over steering. I doubt this is going to work here because I'm on local roads to get back on. Let's just see what it does. It's really just following this car here. Shits and giggles, we'll just see if it actually takes this turn. I doubt it will. It should really tell you that navigation is completely off. Yeah, it wants to take over. Probably saw we were going to run into something. And I am on the on-ramp, so I should be able to engage. It's not great lineage here. That's probably why I can't engage, because the lines, there's just no lines. There we go. And you know what? that is a little odd. You do have to. This is sort of weird because it's not letting me increase my speed. So I've got to push the power pedal just to go a little faster. I had a truck behind me, so I didn't want to. See if it would speed up by itself. Okay, so it did take that last exit. Let's see if it takes this next exit here, which is a simpler exit. Don't know whether it takes clover leaves. Okay, coming up to the exit. Pretty short little exit ramp there. Nope, it took it. Wow. Sort of steers fast over to the exit. And then it's counting down to let you know the blinker's on. Turns off the blinker, gives you that tone, and then you really need to take over. Which is interesting. Okay, so we're going to cancel that. And this is going to be a real sharp clover leaf coming up. So I'm curious how it does here. It was about a mile out on that exit. It's not this exit, it's the next one. And I've got it 10 over.
So here, Navigate on Autopilot decided that it can't take this exit and it's an unsupported maneuver. I believe it might be because it's just a very short distance to get over, and notice the line markings are a little different in that lane change.
And it did not take that exit by itself. I could have just kept going straight, but I decided to bail. Don't know what it did there. Might have not liked the sharpness of this turn. Okay, so it's going to slow down there a little bit on that turn. You have to keep your speed appropriate for the road that you're on. It's not adjusting your speed. And let's see if it takes this exit by itself. I don't see it taking it. And it did not take it. Saying that it's ending, so it didn't do too well there. I had the navigation, it turned on the blinker, but it didn't steer. Navigate to Newtown, PA. That's good. 2 highways. And since there's, I guess, highways on the route, that's when you get the Navigate on Autopilot option. These ramps just don't have good signage. Okay, so it jumped to 60, which was nice. And I'm curious here because I think this ramp, I could just stay on this road lane here to take my next exit. So it stays on that lane. Now it's saying it's going to make a turn, and I guess it's going to here. Yeah. Now it's slowing down, which was nice. Taking this completely by itself, it's pretty nice. It's not a clover leaf. Well, it is a clover leaf, but it's the outside part of the clover leaf. So it's not too tough of a turn. Now we have a merge situation. Luckily no cars are coming, though would have liked to test it, and it's got to merge. You can see that car up there didn't do too well. There's a truck there, and it did that pretty well. And we're going to have an exit in 2 miles. Let's speed up and see if it passes these cars ahead of me. Confirm lane change. So it sensed that pretty far in advance. Now it slowed down there a little after the lane change, which was not too good because there was a car behind me. This is where I'm curious if it stays in this lane or gets over. I'm going to slow down just to see if it gets over by itself. And it looks like it does, or it wants to. Upcoming lane change. I'm going to do it by myself. Pass and then pass it again. And then it wants to go back because it knows it needs to get off at this exit. Let's see if it takes this exit by itself. It should, yes, it says it's going to. Puts the blinker on. I gotta keep my hands on the wheel. Letting me know it's taking this exit. So as soon as you get on the ramp, it starts counting down that it's going to take over. It should be a chime. It's a chime soon, and then it puts the 2 blue lines on to let you know that it's in normal autopilot mode. Now, autopilot does take ramps. I've shown videos of this, so it will do okay here. But you've switched into general autopilot, not navigate on autopilot, and the only real identification of that is the 2 blue lines. I don't know if I like that because this is completely different. Like, it's going to have a big problem up here in a few seconds with this turn because autopilot can't take it. And it's basically coming to a stop, so I had to take over. Although, wow, sort of tried to take that turn, but it couldn't. Okay, so let's cancel. Navigate to Sesame Street. Try this again. Okay, got a ramp. Came off that ramp. Waited a while to come off that ramp. To the very end of it. I wonder if it always waits to the end. Now I'm going to sit in the left lane. There's not too much traffic there. And see when it identifies that it has to get over. Looks like 1.3 out. It's letting me know I've got to get over, and it's warning me there's going to be an upcoming lane change. So let me get.
So notice here it initiates a lane change, but it uses the blind spot indicator red line, and even though I've turned the blinker on, it waited until it got in front of that car, the truck, to change lanes.
sort of curious if it would have slowed down to get behind that truck, or what it would have done. And we have this really sharp roundabout, or clover leaf here coming up. I'm curious if it can take it. And there's not much room to get over once we go over the bridge here. So I'm going to try slowing down a lot here to the speed limit of the road and see if it takes this. So I've got to get over a lane. Wow, it just said it took. It just said I can't take it, and it gave me the signal that it was disengaging. Interesting. So somehow it recognized this curve is either too sharp or there's not enough time to get over, and it just basically disengaged autopilot. Very interesting. And let's see, here's another one we had trouble with. Exit ramp up here, which it missed last time. Let's see if it can take it this time. It should get over now. And for some, oh, there it goes. It says it's going. It wants me to confirm it. I confirmed it too late. So it was asking me to confirm a lane change, and then it would have probably taken the exit, and I didn't confirm the lane change fast enough. I think that's what's happening there. It needed me to... there was a small window to get into the right lane, the exit lane, and then it would have probably taken the exit by itself. I wonder if we can try that again. Well, this will be interesting. A whole bunch of roundabout, a whole bunch of cloverleaf action. Okay, so now it's going to need to get out of this lane here, but I've got a truck coming down, and it sensed it. Very nice. Sensed this truck over here. Trying to get over, and it should now get over, but it's asking me to confirm the lane change. So it's not in a lot of instances you actually have to actively change lanes at the right time, and it's just disengaged again itself. Just can't take these. Let's see if I engage it here. Oh, that's interesting. So after it disengaged by itself, unless I was not changing lanes fast enough for it, maybe that's what's going on. You need to change lanes. It can take the exit, but you have to be in the right lane. So let's see if it takes this full roundabout here properly. It's going to have to, as long as I'm in this lane, it can take this exit by itself. But I needed to, before here, get into this lane. And let's see if it can slow down here. It needs to slow down. Oh, it did. Definitely slowed down a lot. It is taking it. Okay, so I think I've figured it out. I think you have to be ready to use your turn signal. It's a little bit of annoying to get into the right lane when it wants you to get into the right lane. Confirm route. So as soon as it tells you to change lanes, you have to be aware enough to change lanes. And that's going to happen up here again. I've got to watch
for it. Now, I think Elon said that after 10 million miles of travel through the fleet, it will change lanes. You'll have the option to not confirm it. So watch up here. I have to be a little careful to confirm when it wants me to confirm this lane change. Okay, so I just confirmed it, and then it can take this exit ramp by itself. I should count down out of, yes. So let's try it again. Going in circles and circles and circles and circles. Okay, so I think we can do it this time. I got to get over, which I just signaled. Oops, it tried to. Lane change canceled. Now it should. Okay, good. And then I have to see if it's prompting. I'm going to slow down to the speed limit here. And I'm trying to know navigation unavailable. And so it looks like Navigate on Autopilot can't take cloverleafs when you have to change lanes right before the cloverleaf exit. Oh, so it just doesn't want to. Yeah, it just doesn't want to take this ramp here. But what's weird is I can engage it here after the fact, and it takes the turn fine. It slows down and takes it. But it tells me that on the way into that cloverleaf, it cannot deal with it and shuts down. It's very interesting. I wonder what happens if I cancel my navigation in the middle of all this. Yep. It really gets confused. Navigate home. Although it's still in autopilot, so autopilot, wow, that car in front of me is just about to go off the ramp. Navigate home, and it should know to take the cloverleaf, and it just engaged. So let's see if it takes this cloverleaf here. I think it will, because we're going nice and slow. It's the time. I think what I'm noticing is once you're on the exit ramp lane, it can handle it, but a lot of times you have tricky situations to get into the exit lane, and there's not too much room to get into the exit lane, and that's when it disengages. So here, taking two big clover leaves. And then we have an on-ramp. No cars are coming, so it should be able to speed up here and get over. But it's asking me to do the lane change, and then it canceled it. That's interesting. So it's definitely a little odd. So confirm a lane change. But I have some it waits for that car to pass. That was pretty nice. So my first reaction is the auto lane change, or recommendation for lane change, seems to work very well. The highway to highway ramp it probably is fine if there's plenty of room on ramps, but when the
exit ramp lane is a short distance to get into. It doesn't look like it's working too well. And now it's letting me know it's going to want to... Interesting, it's showing that car in my exit lane, wanting me to confirm a lane change, but I can't yet. So I'll put it on and then see if this car, when it passes, it takes it. That's pretty nice. So it's letting you know to get prepared for an exit. Now this exit here, I'm in the exit lane. I'm in the lane to take the exit, but if and it's going to take it all by itself, which is really cool. But when the lane, your exit lane, not the exit ramp, but the exit lane is a little tricky to get into. It doesn't do the greatest of jobs. It sometimes just disengages because it knows it can't get into it.
So here's a scenario where it's giving me the indication to change lanes. I've given a soft click on my blinker once, then a second time, and problem is there's a car behind me and it won't change lanes, and I'm coming to the end of this lane and I've got to get over, so I just had to manually steer because it wouldn't do it on its own. So you have to be a little careful when you're on these exit ramp lanes. It doesn't seem to be smart enough to slow down to allow the car to pass.
But I don't think it's going to enable the nav on autopilot because there are lights on this road, and it doesn't. So basically, as soon as any further navigation does not include major highways, your option for navigate on autopilot disappears. But if there is a future road in your path, it will engage. So, for example, if I cancel this and then navigate to work, I'm going to need to use some highways. I'm not on a highway yet, and that's where you get that option. So as long as you have some future highways in your path, you get that option to navigate on autopilot. Doesn't mean you're going to navigate on autopilot right here. Like I just turned that on. It's not a lot. It's not doing it, but it knows that it will when it gets to the highway.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see some of my other Model 3 videos, they're here in the top right. I just created a new channel, Nick's Pickleball Life, for my pickleball adventures. The name's weird, but the game is great, and you can find games virtually everywhere. If you want 6 months of free supercharging, please use my referral code listed on the bottom left. My Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts are listed on the bottom right. And please don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.